Hi you guys, this is hilarious. I am setting up a little mini classroom in an office that I have, and I'm keeping my family downstairs where they're watching a movie so that they don't bother me. I can't tell you how much I miss you and seeing you guys and just laughing, sometimes getting annoyed, but you know that's just normal for me. But it's so weird. 21 years, never have I had to do something like this. But we're going to do what's best for everybody, stay home and stay healthy and still learn, because I know you guys can do it. You're awesome. You know exactly what you need to do. So I'm going to just do a couple examples for you so that you can hear what I want you to be saying in your mind. Because when you multiply two binomials, you have to say to yourself, first, outer, inner, last. And the reason is because when it comes to the opposite operation, which is to factor a trinomial, you're going to have to break that into two binomials. And so when you do that, fastest thing you can ever do is kind of replay that first, outer, inner, last. So you have to say that to yourself. You have to say first, outer, inner, last, first, outer, inner, last. So from the page of notes that you took, hopefully you understand what the first terms are, outer, inner, last. You'll see I'm going to do 3 more examples. So let me show you, and then we can hopefully help you along the way. All right, here it goes. So we're going to take 2x plus 7 times the quantity of 3x minus 6. And so when you look at those two binomials, hopefully you're understanding that your first terms are the first two terms in the two separate binomials. So you would take 2x times it by 3x. Then you want to look at your outer terms. So I'm going to use red. Your outer term is going to be from all 4 terms. This is first term, second, third, fourth term. Out of all 4 terms, you would have your 2x and the negative 6. Notice I said negative 6. This 2x is positive 2x, so I'm going to put a plus 2x times negative 6. Then we have our inner term, and the inner term is going to be out of all 4 once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. The inner terms would be 7 and 3x. This is a positive 7, so you lead with a plus 7 times a positive 3x. And then your last terms would be the opposite of first, which means you're looking at 2 separate binomials. And so your very last terms would be the 7 and the negative 6. So then you have positive 7 times the negative 6. So now you're going to go ahead and multiply each pair of numbers that you see there. I'm just going to use black now. We have 2 times 3, which is your 6. Remember, an x times an x gives you x squared. Positive 2x times negative 6 gives you that negative 12x. Positive 7 times positive 3 is going to be a positive 21x. And then positive 7 times negative 6 is a negative 42. When you start off, you're going to notice that multiplying these simple 2 binomials will always have an outer and an inner term that are like terms. Those 2 terms should always be able to be combined. So you're not done until you combine these 2 terms in the middle. And that would leave us with a positive 9x minus 42. And now we end with what we say is a quadratic trinomial. 3 terms to the second power there. So that would be my first example for you. Here's another one. X minus 9 times the quantity of 3x plus 8. So my first terms are the first terms in the two binomials, which is x and x, or 3x. So we have x times 3x. Also, don't do this in your head. Really show all your work. Write it out, and when you do this, you should be saying first outer. My outer terms are the x and the positive 8. That's a positive x times a positive 8. My inner terms would be a negative 9 times positive 3x. And my last is the negative 9 times 8. Now I go ahead and multiply each part. 3 times 1 is still 3, but x times x is x squared. This would be a positive 8x. This is a negative 27x, and this is a negative 72. Notice, once again, your outer and your inner term, which would be in your middle. The middle term is going to be like terms, which you can combine. So we have 8 minus 27x, which would leave us with 3x squared minus 19x minus 72. And once again, we have a quadratic trinomial. All right, one more. So we have 5x minus 3 times the quantity of 2x minus 4. I'm going to say first, outer, inner, last. Notice that your last term, both negative, negative 3 and a negative 4. So important that you pay attention to whether numbers are negative or positive. Those are each term. So really hone in and look at each term and identify whether they're positive or negative, and make sure you're putting those symbols in. And then I multiply my first terms to get 10x squared, multiply my outer term to get negative 20x, my inner term is a negative 6x, and my last term, negative times negative, is positive 12. My outer and my inner can be combined, so I get 10x squared minus 26x plus 12. And there you have it, another quadratic trinomial. Okay, cool.